This is Baxter Colburn, host of Verse of the Day. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Your days are your life in miniature. As you live your days, so you craft your life. Robin Sharma. Hello, welcome to Choose to Rise. Welcome to Public House Media. I am so glad that you decided to push play today and be a part of this podcast with me. It gives me great joy to know that you are enjoying what I'm putting out here and that you are being able to rise up out of your current situation to live your best life with the content that comes to my heart, that I feel like is something that I can share with you. So I get to know that you love I get to know that you love the show by you sharing on social media and you telling people about it and leaving ratings and reviews on the Apple Podcast. Being able to see those and read those and connect with you as my listeners is one of the things that gives me great joy every week. And so thank you so much for those of you that are doing that. And I would just hope that whatever the content is for every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that you just feel filled up and encouraged and supported in the process. So today I want to talk to you about 7 things, or a few things at least, that are time wasters in your day, that are things that you're kind of wasting away your life at. And, you know, they're common things. They're things that we probably don't even think about doing. They're just things that have become habits in our life. And like Robin Sharma said, your days are your miniature, or your life in miniature. As you live your days, you can craft your life. Let's try that again. Your days are your life in miniature. As you live your days, so you craft your life. He is such an amazing mentor of mine and someone that I plug into on his podcast regularly whenever they come out. I read his books and just one of the amazing mentors that I plug into regularly. And so this quote just really hit me and it was like, yeah, what is it that I'm doing in my everyday? How am I spending my time? I mean, we all have the same 365 days. We all have the same, 7 days a week. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we use them really dictates and decides how we are showing up in this world, how we are achieving our goals, how we are maybe not achieving our goals. And there's also a quote that says, we all come empty-handed into this world and we will all leave the same. So, it's not about how much money you get. It's not about how much of those kinds of things that we have in our life. It's about when you have to think about what kind of legacy you want to leave. A life well lived, a legacy of riches, a legacy of what, it's not just necessarily money, but in terms of character and service. Like, how do you define success in your life? That's a question I have for you, and one that I hope you really ponder and think about, because when you can define what success means for you, and it's going to be different for everyone, but when you can define what success means for you, then you can go out and achieve it. And you can make sure you're not wasting the precious days and the precious resources you have in order to achieve that success. So let's talk about this, some common ways or some common things that you're doing in your life. I'm guessing you're probably doing in your life that are distracting you from getting to where you want to go and wasting the precious time that you have. Well, the first one is wasting time on distractions. Today, we are all distracted more than ever. We have devices in our hands 24/7. We have the TV on, the radio on, the kids at home, like all the things, right? Everything's distracting. So we all have screens and all in front of us constantly, but life is just so different than it has been in the past. The increasing dependence on smartphones has dramatically changed our lives, and this has affected especially our ability to focus in on our work. So even simply the ability to wait patiently, I know even for myself, like when I have to even wait for like 2 minutes in the grocery line, the first thing I do is pull up my phone and start scrolling social media or responding to messages or checking in on something else. Like waiting patiently has become a thing that we're just we can't even give it a minute if we have, even 10 minutes to wait in a restaurant without our phones checking our notifications, some of us go crazy. We can't stand in a queue waiting patiently because our brains demand for constant stimulation on social media. So how can you get past this? Well, one thing that you can do is to go to Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. And this is one that I heard from this book from Robin Sharma, but also from Craig Groeschel recently. And he's talked about how every time we switch from task A to task B, our attention doesn't immediately flow. A residual of our attention gets stuck in the first task first. So in order to kind of get away from that, we need to remove the distractions. We need to get rid of some of those things, close things down, remove the notifications from our devices. One of the things that I've done in my world most recently is turn them off on my phone. And let me tell you, it is so freeing to be able to check in on my time and not when a little red number is next to one of the apps on my phone. So, being able to get rid of the distractions, finding a quiet place to work, finding a place where maybe you don't have a screen up at the time, or there's certain applications that you can get on your browsers that shut off notifications for a lot of things. And when you get some focused time in, then you can really get to work on what is your goal, and then come back later to the things that are, when you get to the things that are fun, or the things that are that you kind of need to get to later. Being distracted hurts our productivity and can really hurt your career growth. You can hurt your personal development, your relationships, all those kinds of things. So really getting rid of the distractions. The second thing is by not chasing your dreams. Jim Rohn says we must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And the difference is discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. And I love that quote because so many of us are afraid to step out of our comfort zone and go for the things that we want to have happen in our life. Instead, we get stuck in what society tells us that we want, and we play it safe. And the thought is deep, what Jim Rohn said, but when you reach the end of your life, you don't want to regret because you're leaving with a song still inside of you. Let it out. Sing your song. Live the thing that you want to do. Go do those things. And I was recently reading Mel Robbins' book, and she was talking about how, fear is the number one thing that gets in our way a lot of times. But, if you're excited about something, if you have passion for something, dabble in it. You don't have to go hog wild 200% in, but take small steps towards that journey. So if you have a big dream of doing something, what are ways that you can learn and get connected and do something that will help you learn more about it and find some success in it and see if you're really passionate about it and something you really want to go down that road before you take the massive leap to go there. What matters to you most is probably the strengths and the gifts that God's put inside of you. So go find ways and things that you can do to use those strengths and those gifts. For me in my life, successful things is being able to support people and help people and encourage people. And I get to do that in so many ways in my life because I've opened up my eyes and opened up my heart and my mind to other alternatives to what I was doing. And I was a school administrator. The reason why I wanted to start teaching was I loved seeing the little light bulb go off in little kids' faces. And they're like, oh, I get it. And they learned something and they applied something and they were better because of it. And, then I moved up into curriculum instruction and was helping teachers do the same thing. And now I get to help on a broader scale. I get to help you, rise up out of your current situation, live your best life by those aha moments of applying some of this information to your life and growing out of your own comfort zone and doing the things that you want to do. I get to help women on a daily basis, get outside of their fear and work on improving their health, which improves their relationships, which improves their, their well-being and how they show up in the world, and it has massive impact on their life. And so if you're wasting your life living other people's dreams, I would encourage you to reflect on what it is that you want to do in life and to find what it is that lights you up. And then go do more of those things. Because at the end of it, I know exactly what you're going to regret. Not doing the things that light you up the most often. Yes. So get after it and go find something that you love and find a way to dabble in it. The third thing is not disciplining yourself. So self-discipline means controlling yourself at your will. It is also important to succeed in life because it's what gives you the power to stick to your goals. You won't become successful in life by working on your craft just a few days, or maybe even working on it when the motivation strikes. You need to hustle consistently and you need to stick with it if you're going to make something big work. So every successful person has routines, habits that help them stick with their vision and help them go past the willpower. Like dedication and devotion are things that you need, and discipline are the habits and the strategies and the routines are the things that are going to help you keep going when the motivation is not there, when you just don't feel like it. Having that routine and that discipline is going to help you keep going no matter what. Number 4 is not spending time with your family. I know this one was a big one for me when I first made the switch to doing what I'm doing now. I really felt like I was not giving my family the best of me. I felt like they were getting the least of me. They were getting what was left of me. And I was really sad about that because my kids are little and you're never going to get those years back. You're never going to get that time back with them. And so being able to unplug and be 100% connected to them and be there for them in the fun times and the sad times and all of the times, making sure I'm really, I can work hard, I can hustle and I can build great things, but I can also unplug and be and have a super flexible schedule to be with my family and the times that it makes the most for them. In the quest for making more money or creating empires or finding, the massive success and accomplishments in a lot of things, we oftentimes forget about the people that are closest to us. A lot of times the reasons why we're trying to go build these things. And in the end, it really doesn't matter how much you've earned or what you've accomplished or how many letters you have behind your name or degrees you have on your wall. What really matters most is the relationships and the connection you have with the family that you are working so hard for. So don't give away that time. Don't give away those precious moments. Be there for them, be there with them, and help them grow and be encouraged and leave a legacy of hope and prosperity and hard work ethic for sure, but be there with them and leave a legacy of love too. The next one is by not expanding your comfort zone. Eddie Harris Jr. says, the sooner you step away from your comfort zone, you'll realize that it really wasn't all that comfortable. And I agree with this so much. Like the sooner you get out of your comfort zone, the more likely you're going to realize that it really wasn't the great place to be. I know that when I started my healthy living journey, I was comfortable. I was where I was at, but also I was super uncomfortable. I just realized now, after living the clean, healthy lifestyle that I live now and working out on a daily basis and fueling my body with good food, that when I revert back to not working out or I revert back to filling up my body with things that are not good for me, I just don't feel good anymore. And taking myself back to where I was originally, it makes me realize how bad it was and how I can feel so much better getting outside and stretching myself and growing myself and learning more about myself to help me, face my fears and get over it, and how I can grow more confidence and, go out and conquer the rest of the world because I've grown out of where I was before. So, nothing worth having in life will come to you by staying where you are. So don't stay stagnant and live in the same days again and again and again until you die. Grow out of it, grow constantly and say yes to more opportunities, even if they scare you, because the things that scare you are probably the things that you need to do anyway. So you don't have to do everything at once, but take tiny steps and get outside of that comfort zone. Number 6 is wasting life by worrying constantly. I don't know about you, but I know a few people that are major worry warts. And I have one of my favorite things that kind of analogies is worrying is like a rocking chair. You go back and forth and waste a lot of energy, but you don't go anywhere, right? Worrying is a huge life waster. We often worry about things that have happened in the past, that they might happen again, or we regret the mistakes we made, or we're worried about the future because we're afraid of what might happen. And we really forget to enjoy the present moment that the life has gifted us. And so if you've overcome something in your past and you keep thinking about it, you're going to manifest it to happen again in your future. That's just how the universe works. But if you can get over that and you can really focus in on the happiness of now and the joy that you want to have in the future and the things that are going to happen for you because you are focusing on the good, then I encourage you to live in the moment. I don't know about you, but have you ever read or listen to the book, The Secret? It really talks a lot about the law of attraction. And after I read that book, you can also find it on Netflix, after I read that book, I understood the constant worrying thing, and it really made me think differently about how I show up in the world. So by worrying constantly, I'm basically manifesting all of that stuff to come back. And so if you can let go of it and really kind of let go and let God, give all the struggles and the worry and the doubt to Him, and He will take care of all of it. So make a habit of thinking positively, make a habit of, overcoming those negative thoughts by practicing gratitude and mindfulness, and just having an attitude of gratitude will change your life so much. When you can express genuine gratitude to even the smallest blessings in your life, you just naturally become happy. And you're so content by living the best life that you can because you're so happy that you don't have space for worries, and that you can practice your attitude of gratitude anytime and anywhere. Anytime you feel worry come up, switch it around and be grateful for the moment that you have and the things that are in your eyes, in your life. And when you can, maybe even close your eyes and imagine yourself, feel the feelings of what it feels like to be so grateful for something. And that's when you're going to manifest good things into your life and good things into your world. And so having mindfulness is focusing your mind on the present moment and not worrying about the past or the future, just being present in where you are right now, being aware of how you breathe, how you're feeling, about how, you can just show up in this moment and live life right here and not worry about the other thing. And the last one I have for you is huge. This one I think is probably the biggest one for so many people, is living to please other people. This is the biggest time waster because your thoughts and your dreams and your actions are not for everyone. And if you're listening to the people that are not doing what you're doing, if you're listening to the people that have failed at doing what you're doing or have zero desire to do what you're wanting to do, then you're listening to the wrong people. The people that care way too much about the other people's opinions, trying hard to impress other people, they are not living their life on their own terms. They're just being super dissatisfied in life because they're not living their true self. There are a lot of people out there that, will say certain things that, they're not trying to do what you're doing. So if they're not trying to do what you're doing, why are you listening to them? Why would you get advice from a plumber about how to wire a house? Why would you ask a circus, clown about your accounting practices? They're not doing what you're doing, right? So don't take advice from people that are going that direction. You want to surround yourself with people that have achieved the goals that you want to achieve, that are moving forward in the direction, that are here to cheer you on and tell you that you can. Those are the people that you need to worry about what they think. But it's not worrying about how you're not trying to please them either, because there is nothing worse than living with regret, and there's nothing worse than living somebody else's life. So always give your dreams a chance. It doesn't matter where you are in life. It's never too late to follow your dreams. And it's always better to die being happy and knowing that you lived it and you did your absolute best than regretting that you didn't take the chance. So even if you're not enjoying your life right now, it's time to make a change. And it's as simple as changing your mindset. So don't waste another moment of your life. Don't think about how the past is woe is me, but really focus in on what you're grateful for, what you have going right for you in this life, and what you can do differently to change it and make it better for you as you go forward. I hope today that you got something out of this, one of these 7 time wasters. Maybe you are doing one of them. Maybe you're doing some of them. Maybe you're not doing any of them, and rock on to you. But I hope that you got something here today to help you overcome this and to live your absolute best life today. Stop worrying and living for other people. Stopping worrying about, worrying in general and how it can always be bringing you down. If you're wasting your time by not expanding your comfort zone, get out there, go do something. Make sure you're spending time with your family on the regular. Make sure you're creating habits of discipline and self-respect and making sure that you're taking care of yourself. Chase your dreams, go for them. The difference between discipline outweighs ounces while regret weighs ton. Don't have regrets. Go for the things that you love to do. And the first one that I mentioned was wasting time on distractions. Don't be distracted. Find your focus and get going in a direction that's going to help you live your absolute best life. Thanks again for joining me. Head over to Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and review, tell your friends about Choose to Rise, and I hope to see you back here again next time.